How's it going, guys? I'm your host Korriban Gaming. Welcome back to a very special Adventure Quest video, and today's video is targeted at new and returning players as well as experienced players if you guys want to hear my opinions. And today's video is going to be about the 2023 Golden Gift Box tier list. Now, I did one last year and a lot of people loved it. Ever since then, a lot of people have been asking me to go ahead and make a new tier list for this year, which is what I'm going to do. And on top of that, the new and returning players, a lot of them are also wondering what they should be getting for their golden gift boxes. So if you're new or returning player, you can go ahead and reference this tier list. The opinions that I give here are accurate at the time of this recording, but keep in mind that firstly, these are just my opinions alone, so you may want to seek a second opinion from the people on AEO or from the people on my server, because everyone does have different playstyles. And another thing is, the game does get updates every single week, so you know, if the meta changes or shifts, then this tier list may or may not be accurate anymore. Okay, I will highly recommend, once you've narrowed down what you want, a few items, okay, go ahead and post them inside of my Discord server, and then you know, go ahead and let people tell you again just to double confirm if those items are actually good pickups. Also, one more thing is, some items are going to be better for some builds and you know, completely trash for another build. So I'm going to try as far as possible to go ahead and tell you which build the item is good for, if this item is good or bad. And on top of that, I will also go ahead to try and what was that? Oh my god, I can't remember. Yeah, I give you guys a brief rundown of why I think this item is good or why I think this item is bad. Okay, obviously I can't go into too much detail for each individual item because we have over 200 items to go through, and if I do that, the video will probably be like 2 to 3 hours long. Hopefully we can keep it to like an hour plus, but without further ado, let's get started. And we'll be doing this you know, the tiers how I'll be splitting is S, A, B, C, and D. S is probably one of the best items, definitely a top few pickup that you need to get first. Okay, and then A will be decently strong items that are also worth picking up. Maybe they are specific to builds. B are going to be very average items. They could be niche items that might be good for some cases, might not be good for other cases. C are items that are almost never worth picking up. And D are just items that you do not ever want to touch or waste your gift boxes on. Okay, unless you know, for some specific, very specific use cases, but I'll talk about it when we get to that. Okay, and I will be sorting today's video according to common, rares, and ultra rares, so you can go ahead and you know, skip to the timestamps if you just want to hear my opinions on the stuff inside the common box, the stuff inside the rare box, or the stuff inside the ultra rare box. So starting off, we have the common boxes. So common boxes, none of the items here are actually mastercraft, so it's going to be pretty fast to go through. Exuka, this is D. Gatling gun, this is D. Oblivionator, this is D. Darkseeker sidekick, also D. None of these have any special effect. The first three are just range 100 proc weapons, so nothing special. Darkseeker sidekick is a melee 20 proc energy sword. Comes with a trigger, it gains 20 Omni status resist and ally seek versus vampires and werewolves, but you know, this is pretty useless because you don't really see a lot of those monsters outside of the Darkovia questline. The Star Sabers of Pacifism and Passion, not sure why I put both of them here, but yeah, they are wind, melee magic, wind, fire, sword. Okay, and you can swap between the modes. That's basically it. You know, unless you're a huge Star Wars fan. But how I will be ranking the items, before I forget, okay, is I will base them off their rarity as well as how good they are in practical combat. Okay, the artwork, I am not going to be taking that into account because you know, Adventure Quest has no cosmetics function, and you know, a weapon looking nice does absolutely nothing for you. So I'm only going to base it off the rarity, whether or not it's worth for that tier, as well as how good or bad the item is in a practical combat situation with respect to today's meta. Okay, Ultraviolet, again, you know, just regular swords. Okay, that's why they are in the tier list. Ultraviolet and Infrared Blade. Okay, the Blade of Janus. Next up, this one, you have a small chance to paralyze. This is pretty bad in my opinion because one, is not guaranteed chance to paralyze. You don't know when you're going to be able to attempt you don't know when, you know, you'll be able to inflict the paralyze, and on top of that, a lot of monsters have freedom, so this is pretty useless. Shadow Phoenix Bow, 20 proc true special, kind of useless. Vorpal Sword, useless. Regular weapon. Havati Blade. Now, this one, you deal reduced damage, but after you attack with this weapon, you have a 50% chance to gain 1 turn of pet and guess celerity without a save. So, yeah, every time you use this weapon to attack, 50% chance of your pet and guess going again. No save at all. Doesn't matter what the monster's stats are, doesn't matter what the monster's level is, doesn't matter what your level is, doesn't matter what your stats are. Okay, if you're a Beastmaster, this is a top tier weapon, and only if you're Beastmaster, and Beastmasters are players who have 250 charisma trained. Okay, so if you're a Beastmaster, this is definitely going into the S tier, one of the best weapons that Beastmaster has, and this is only a common box. Very, very worth it if you're a Beastmaster. Next up, Iragiri. Okay, you lose 6 MRM and you take extra 7.14% damage, but you gain 8.5 BTH and 10% damage. This is one of the best darkness weapons for a free to play player. Okay, by free to play I mean players who have at least have a guardianship, because that's what I consider free to play. If you don't have a guardianship, are you even playing the whole game? No, you're only playing half the game. And Guardians do get 1 free golden gift box every month, assuming you have nothing else and you're just keeping active. So considering the fact that this is a common box and how good it is for free to play players, I'm going to give this A tier. It's not the very best in slot darkness weapon in my opinion, but you know, it is a very good pickup for the cost, which is only a common gift box. Alright, next up, Maker Touch Zweihander. Okay, this one is from Dragon Fable. It's a magic sword and you can rotate upon you can change into any of the 8 standard elements upon attacking each turn, but deals 1.21 times damage. So this one is completely random, and you deal minus 33% damage but attempts to inflict Prismatic Burn for 1 turn. Prismatic Burn is quite useful. Number 1, for getting around damage caps, because Prismatic Burn counts as 8 hits since you're inflicting all 8 different elements. And number 2, for monsters with balanced resist, like if the monster is 100% to all of its resistances, then this is going to be better than your regular weapon, and the Prismatic Burn definitely helps out as well. This is not a top tier weapon in my opinion. It is pretty niche, but for what it does and the fact that it's only a common box, I think it's decent. So I'm gonna give this a B tier. Alright, next up we have Rainbows, and okay, this is the last common weapon. This one is a range 0 proc light spear. Deals minus 25% damage, attempts to inflict light burn for 2 turns. Okay, I do not think this is actually very good at all. Light burn is, yeah, not that great. This is going to the D tier. I don't think you should pick it up and waste a gift box. Okay, also for those of you that don't know, you can convert your golden gift boxes from 25 commons equals to 1 rare and 10 rares equals to 1 ultra rare. You can convert it using your account manager. If you're still not sure how to do it, you can go ahead and check out my video or my shorts on how to convert it over here, step-by-step guide, you know, everything telling you how to do that. Okay, for the shield, we have the Arthurian shield. It's a light shield. Okay, nothing special about this shield. This is going into the D tier. Next spells, you have Ice Master Yeti Gas. Okay, this one you deal minus 50% damage for the gas, attempts to inflict daze. I don't think this is very good because, you know, freedom exists. Alright, and then Genia's Orb of Power. This one can attempts to inflict panic. Okay, this is actually not bad if you combo it with something like Fate and Creature 72 for the panic. You can use Seeing Red, which is completely free, but why I say this is completely useless, I don't know. Seeing Red exists, so yeah, I think this is going to D tier. Okay, but you know, it's an alternative to Seeing Red. Maybe the monster, okay, you know what, I'll put it in C tier because of the shenanigans that you can pull off with Faye and C72. Okay, so if the monster is resistant to fire, you have another choice in energy, but outside of this specific application, I don't really think it's useful on its own for the panic. It's not super strong or anything. Pets, okay, pets, we have Baby Draco Leech. This one minus 50% damage, attempts to inflict darkness poison. This is not that great. Wet Eye, this is a regular water pet. Land Shark is a regular earth pet. Nothing special about these guys. Not even sure why they are a gift box to begin with. They should be completely free in my opinion. Alright, next, Kitsune Mask. Okay, fire miscellaneous item, 50% damage, so it's on the modern standards, and increased magic blocking. Okay, this is crap. Okay, Shikyo Mask is the same except it resists darkness. Again, these are just very bad items. Now, For a mystery bag of gold, this one you gain a amount of gold instantly, and the gold is scaled based off your level. It's a random amount every time. Okay, but it's there is a range for each level. So at max level, it's not a lot, but you know, if you're in a if you're mega whale who wants to pump up for the contest, I guess you can open up your common gift boxes for this. But for regular players, I'll never recommend anyone to go ahead and do this. So please do not do this unless you just have every single thing that you want from the golden gift boxes. You have a ton of gift boxes to spare and you just have a lot of money to throw. Then maybe you can consider using this for the Gold Dono contest, which was what I did last year. By the way, I opened over like 1,000 of these just for the gold. But you know, don't do that. I don't recommend it. Okay, EXP. If you're a whale and you're lazy to level up your alt characters on your own, you can go ahead and use this. I know several whales have done this, but you know, leveling up is a matter. It's just a matter of, you know, putting in the effort, putting in the time. And even if you don't want to, April Fools every year, you can just AFK there for like 24 hours or something, and get and let your characters level up slowly on your own without touching them at all. So is this useful? I guess if you're in a rush to level up your characters for whatever weird reason, maybe. But again, I do not recommend anyone to go ahead and do this. Just go ahead and grind levels the regular way. You're going to get there very fast anyway. Hidden power of learning, hidden power of gold. Okay, you get an extra 5% gold reward each for each monster that you kill each week. So basically plus 5% to your gold cap as well. And this does stack with the Spirit Misc items. If you're taking part in the Gold Dono contest and you really want to, you know, get the top spot, you can go ahead and use this. But for regular people, I don't think this is useful at all. So D tier, the power of learning, this is even more useless because once you hit max level, there's really no point in this item anymore. Okay, this gives you extra 5% EXP for a week. If you want to level up faster, I guess you can use this, but I will not recommend it. And then you have your estate resources. Okay, wood, energy, stone, and food. Each one gives you 500. I do not know why anyone would ever want to use this. The war rewards that you get from spamming this is like so pathetic. Like, I just think it's not worth it at all. So I would definitely not recommend this. Okay. And then next we have a very special shop. Okay, the all shop with the triple exclamation mark and all of the all items inside. This is a very slight upgrade to your all equipment. It is basically an almost insignificant upgrade if you ask me. So is it worth trying your luck for a all box? I guess you have to you have to specifically click on it in order to get it, by the way. So they made it a lot more obvious now. In the past it wasn't that obvious where the button was, but right now I think it's pretty obvious where it is. Unfortunately, I can't show it to you because I already got it. Okay, so this one, I guess if you're a collector and you want a very slight boost to your all weapons, you can get it. But for the most part, I think this is not worth people dumping like I don't know, 20 to 30 common boxes just to get this. The chance of getting this is almost the same as an ultra rare if I'm not mistaken, but not really worth getting. Especially if you're not a large whale or anything like that. Alright, moving on. We are done with the commons. Now for the rares. Okay, the rares. Let's see what we have here. Okay, we have the Blacksmith Hammer. What does this even do? I have no idea. Blacksmith Hammer. If monster is fire element, weapon element changes to ice and deals plus 5% damage. Garbage. No idea why anyone would use that. Fresh Asteraceae. Okay. Magic Light 20 proc scythe deals minus 20% damage. Increase the damage of pets and guests by 15%. Foam Finger is free, so should you spend a rare weapon just to rare gift box just to get this? No. There is also the Slaymore of Kindness weapons if for some reason Foam Finger gets nerfed one day, so I don't think you should. Both of those are free, so I don't think you should go ahead and waste a rare box on this. This is going to D tier. I mean, on its own it's good, but there are free alternatives. That's why it's not getting a C tier in my opinion. Okay, and there's no reason why you really want to use this as a Beastmaster. As a Beastmaster, you don't care too much about player damage, so that is not important at all. Okay, Titanite Destroyer, next one, this one. Melee range magic, sword staff spear deals extra 10% damage against monsters with less than 0 strength. Yup, this is complete garbage. No idea why we get it. These sort of weapons used to be decent or almost best in slot like many years ago, but nowadays this is just rubbish, so don't get it. Lovely X, melee fire 20 proc X, special attempts to inflict control. Okay, any stun style effects, in my opinion, I think it's not good, especially if number one, it's not a guaranteed stun, and number two, when there are so many monsters with freedom in the game, I just think it's not worth if that is the only thing that it does. Bonebreaker Berserker X, melee darkness 20 proc X, special deals half damage, attempts to inflict darkness, ally bound. Okay, this one, it would be better if you can just click on it to inflict ally bound, but unfortunately this is completely random, only 20% chance. So for that randomness alone, this is getting a D tier. I don't think it's great. Void Spear of War is a harm spear. You deal mass 10% damage due to element. Mastercraft, you get extra 5% damage. Harm is useful for some cases, so I'm going to put this in B tier. You know, if you're a ranger, fully offensive ranger, and you need like some harm weapon inside of your inventory, you can use this. Seesaw, okay, X mode deals 5% extra 5% damage, and the Saw mode has a chance to inflict bleed. This used to be pretty good back in the day, but right now I don't think it's that useful. Bleed is still a decent effect, I guess, but this is honestly, this is a C tier. It's not that fantastic to me. Okay, I wouldn't really recommend picking this up, but it's not like completely useless either. Solar Flare Staff, melee magic fire light staff, deals minus 5% damage to compress a gas. So you can get the Solar Flare Angel gas, which can heal your HP, and the heal is actually not bad. So most people usually get this for the heal, but in my opinion, I think it's not that great anymore. You also have the fire and light as well as melee and magic compression, so I think this is a very low B tier, almost bordering on C in my opinion, but because of how many things it does, I think this gets a B tier minimum. Relic Staff, this one, you just get plus 4 BTH. What the hell, why is this even rare? This should be a common. Damn. Undead Cleric's Arm, okay, it's a light tome, comes with 3 spells. Life-Giving Light, standard healing spell, uses intellect for stat damage. Raising Spirits deals half damage, attempts to inflict fear, okay, which is useless. And Holy Stars, which is an efficient spell. None of these are very good. Okay, I guess if you like it for the efficient spell, and if you like the healing, you can go ahead and use this. The fear one, I think that's kind of useless, so I think this gets a C tier. Okay, the healing and efficient spell could be useful for some people. Bloodstorm, melee magic 20 proc fire sword, special heals you equals to 1/6 of the damage dealt. If you have more than 80% HP, instead deals extra 25% damage. I think this is garbage because you need to rely on the 20% chance for it to proc. Deathbringer, range 10 proc darkness spear. Special has a chance to paralyze for 1 turn. If infliction rate is greater than 100%, it has a chance to paralyze for 2 turns, okay? Just paralyze, and the fact that it's you know, only specific if your special goes off, yeah, this is just horrible. Okay, Golden Dragon Spear, range 30 proc. Okay, oh wait, no, before that we have the Reavers of Nalgath, right? What the heck is this called? Reaver of Nalgath, okay. It's a range darkness 20 proc scythe plus spear, and uses charisma instead of luck for stat bonuses. Now, Beastmasters can use this weapon, but it doesn't really offer anything else outside of, you know, just being able to use it as a Beastmaster. And because it is 20 proc, I think this belongs in the D tier, in my humble opinion. Next up, we have your Golden Dragon Spear, right? Is this Golden Dragon Spear? I think this is. So this is 30 proc, which is very interesting. Okay, gains a conditional dragon trigger. Darkness dragons, you get extra 15% damage. If it's a dragon, or if it's a darkness draco or dragonkin, you get extra 7.5% damage. And if it's not any of the above, it's not a darkness draco or dragonkin, you only get extra 5% damage. Okay, there is no down trigger, which is nice, but you know, I don't really like these sort of conditional things, and we don't see a whole ton of dragons, so this is going to the D tier. Monolith Mace, 1.5 times Lucky Strike damage. It's not bad, but you know, it's not the best. I think this gets a C tier. It's still somewhat usable for some people who wants to, you know, see as much Lucky Strike damage as possible. Gloomgrave, range 10 proc Earth Harm Spear can toggle to harm mode, and in the harm mode the special is also harm mode. So this is situational for people who need a harm weapon. In fact, I have used this before, so I'm gonna give this a B tier. Bow of Judgment is a range 100 proc with 20 proc true special energy bow. Special attempts to inflict energy burn. Okay, this is not that great considering we have 3 weapons that do energy burns as well. This is a D tier. Perfectly balanced blade, range 20 proc energy sword. You get auto hit but you only deal 70% damage. This is energy. Do you have any energy auto hit weapons? I don't think we do. Let me think about it. I don't think we do. Okay, auto hit somewhat useful, and energy I don't remember any free alternatives or any alternatives for auto hit energy, so I'm going to give this C tier. Okay, Grand Walk Lance, nothing special. D tier. Giant's Wrath, extra 10% damage if the monster has greater than 0 intellect. Again, one of those weapons that depends on the monster stats. Not good nowadays. So D tier. Steampunk Love Bow, range 100 proc harm bow, deals minus 10% damage due to element, and Mastercraft gets extra 5% damage. So this is specifically for FD rangers who wants harm element inside of their build. So I think this is actually quite useful for a FD ranger, B tier. Okay, now we have the Blood Blades. Okay, Blood Blades, in my previous tier list, I rated them as S tier. But right now, I feel like they are only an A tier in my opinion. Simply because they don't offer anything else except for pure damage. And for pure damage alone, even though they are best in slot, like I feel like they just don't do enough, or they don't offer enough in today's meta game whereby whereby damage just really isn't everything anymore. So yeah, they've gone down to A tier, but like this is probably like a A plus tier in my opinion. If you have a spare rare box, then go ahead, and you just want big damage, then you can go for it. If you're a mage, go for the Blood Blade. You do get extra bonus damage out of this if you're using it in your Blood Mage armor, okay? And if you're a warrior, then go for the Bloodzerker weapon, okay? I'm not going to put all of their elements here, but this is the same for all of their elements, okay? Same tier for all their elements. The only difference is the element, basically. Eternity Key. Melee Magic 20 proc energy staff. Special has a deals reduced damage and has a chance to inflict Hypersalinate, which is energy freeze for 1 turn. Okay, freeze is actually a pretty strong effect. It's technically like almost like Ellie round and a stun combined into one, if you like to think of it that way. But the fact that this is reliant on the special going off instead of like a clickable effect, yeah, I think this is D. Not worth a rare box. Crusader Shining Repeater, this one nothing special, so D tier. Prismatic iridescence, whatever this is called. Light hits from spells attempts to inflict daze. Okay, stun effects, just a no-go. Galactic Void Katana, magic 20 proc darkness sword, special attempts to inflict choke. Okay, this is reliant on the special, which only has 20% chance, so no good. D. Cadence Wrath. Mastercraft deals extra 38.33% damage if no pet or gas is active. This is quite special in the sense that, if you're not a Beastmaster and you don't use pets and gases at all, this will be great. But I think almost everyone uses a pet, okay? Even if you're not a Beastmaster. Gases, sure, you can make the argument that only Beastmasters use gases, but I just don't think this is great, So D tier. Ultra Elemental X. Swap between fire and ice, nothing great. And you can swap between the 3 damage types, but that's really not worth it. Okay, next up, what else do we have? Let me see. 1 second. Twisted Gauntlet of Sano. Okay, so the Gauntlet of Sano has a clickable skill, which it's a pretty decent clickable skill, but apart from just damage alone, I don't think the skill does anything else. Let me just double check. Okay, so yeah, there's a fire and a light version of this, and it's just compressing a standard weapon based skill. I have no idea why so many people rate this so highly. I just don't think it's that great. But is it D tier? No, because it still has its very limited users, so I'm going to give it a C tier for now. It might drop to D, who knows. Okay, next up we have your let me see. Is this the Cavalier Lancers? Yeah, okay. The Radiant Paladin Cavalier Lancers. Oh my god, these are horrible weapons. Okay, and why do I say that? Is because if you're riding a mount, I think you get extra damage. Let me just double check here. Double check. Where in the world is it? Cavalier Lancers. Okay, deals extra 7.5% damage if you're in a riding or mount armor. There's very little riding and mount armors in the game, and usually the riding and mount armors, they are not very good from what I remember, unless they are from donation sets, but you know, donation sets are hella expensive, so yeah, I don't think that's really good. Okay, D tier. Next we have the Taxing Cutlass. Okay, Taxing Cutlass. This one you can heal a little bit of your SP based off your damage dealt. So if you boost your damage to a crazy amount, you can go ahead and heal quite a fat amount of SP. But on its own, it's not fantastic. It does require, rely quite heavily on damage boosters to really make this item shine. But you know, if you can get the right boost, you can stack enough of the boost, then this one, I think this item is actually pretty decent. Okay, 5.625% of the damage dealt as SP. So if you're hitting like 1k damage, you're getting back like, you know, 50 plus SP, which is not a lot, but 1k damage is also not a lot. So yeah, so that's just something to keep in mind. Overall, I think this gets a B, but this is like a low B because the heal is not that great unless you can just boost your damage to crazy amounts. Yeah, this is very low B, almost bordering on C. Legion Marauder Claymore deals minus 10% damage and attempts to inflict ice burn, and if used with the full set with the Legion Marauder armor, the burn power is increased. I do not think this is great. The burn is not super strong or anything, so this is D tier. And you know, in order to power it up, you also need a useless armor, which is I don't think this is worth carrying at all. Okay, Taxing Cutlass also comes in a Darkness variant. This applies for the Darkness variant as well. Stormhawk Scythe, just swapping between elements, ice and energy, no good, nothing special. Twisted Mage Soul. You pay 65 MP at level 150 to deal extra 15.67% damage, endgame plus 5 BTH. Mastercraft, you get another 5% damage. This one, I think it's decent, honestly. Okay, so I am... Wait, is this... So I think I am going to give it a... Yeah, I think I will give it a B tier. Okay, it's not quite Bloodblade level in my opinion. Okay, but at the same time, this is actually pretty good as well, since you get a BTH boost too. Okay, and the Hunter's Darklaw and Slayer's Lifefang, they are basically the same thing. Triggers against Darkovian foes, and you can at least seek against them, and you also gain BTH as well as damage boost. But you know, how often do we see Darkovian foes outside of the Darkovian storyline? So D tier because it's not very useful outside of that. The Twisted Sabers of Justice and Wisdom, they are just energy swords. Okay, and you heal HP or MP equal to the damage dealt. The heal is not great, so and HP and MP you can easily heal them through other means, so this is D tier. Okay, this is basically almost the same as Taxing Cutlass, but you know, SP heals are a lot rarer and a lot more valuable than HP or MP heal, which is why Taxing Cutlass gets like a B tier, whereas you know, these sabers only get like a C tier in my opinion. Next, what else do we have? The Twisted Tempest Scimitar. Okay, this is what it is. 1.5 times Lucky Strike rate. I don't know. I guess it's the same as the Monolith. Yeah. Twisted Ultra Krieger Blade. Okay, this one, you can swap between light and dark. No good. Doesn't do anything else. Okay, and then we have the, what is this? Necromancer Cavalry Lance. Yeah, okay, the Necromancer Cavalry Lance, this one, let me check. Let me see. Yeah, it's basically the same as the Paladins one. I have no idea why I put two separate items here. Okay, next, Tiger Cannon. Tiger Cannon is a range 100 proc gun and comes with a skill. It's an overcharged skill, weapon base. Comes in two steps. First step, you have to pay 333 SP at level 150 to store or charge, and the second step, you pay an additional 333 SP to consume the charge and attack. Standard weapon base skill is 10 times lucky strike rate. Basically, it's a guaranteed crit, and I would not recommend this if you're not running luck, because otherwise you will not be able to crit with the weapon. 666 SP for a guaranteed crit, and this is only one hit, so it's really not that great in today's meta. And keep in mind, you also need to buff your lucky strike damage somehow if you really want to see big numbers, and you know, this is kind of stopped by damage cap, so I think it's only a C. And on top of that, you also need to spend 2 turns, so yeah, I think this is only C tier in my opinion. What else do we have? Time killer bows. Oh, okay, the time killer crossbows, these are actually pretty decent. Let me just double check again what they do. Okay, so the time killer crossbow, there is a energy as well as a ice version. It's a range 100 proc bow, and you can use arbalest charges to attack. It comes with 4 arbalest charges on login and can hold up to 20. Okay, charges are shared between both versions of this weapon. So if you're carrying both of these weapons, they share the same number of charges, and it has 3 options. First one, reload gains 4 arbalest charges. This does take a turn, not quick cast. Second one, rapid fire, you use 1 charge and deals 1.25 times bow damage. And the third one, time bolt spray, you use 4 charges, deals double damage. 2 times bow damage and minus 67.85% damage. And if you deal greater than 0 damage, has a chance to freeze for 1 turn. So for energy, it will be an energy freeze. For ice, will be the ice freeze. This one, it does require charging, but if you can get it to charge, there's also a spell that's tied with this. I think it will be sort of decent. Okay, but you know, stuns are not really that great nowadays. I think this gets a C tier, okay, simply because we don't really have a lot of other choices as a ranger. Next up, we have the Orpheum Bow. Okay, the Orpheum Bow, this is a range 100 proc light bow, toggles between 2 modes. First is a full damage mode, second mode is a sleep mode. Sleep, just not very good, another stun effect. Okay, Saphira Kneeboard, magic 0 proc, Darkness Club, uses charisma instead of luck for all calculations while equipped. That includes your BTH, your lucky strike, and your blocking. So for Beastmasters, I think this is actually not bad, and I think this is better than the other pure charisma weapon, which is, what's that called? What's the other pure charisma weapon? Oh my god, I can't remember. Fresh? No, not this one. Let me see. The Reverse of Nalgeth? Yeah, because this is 0 proc, okay, so you don't have a special messing it up, you know, for you. But I think this is only C tier in my opinion. Doesn't really do anything else. Robina Surfboard, toggle between earth and wind. Useless. Wolf King Surfboard, uses endurance instead of luck for all calculations. So this one, if you're playing some sort of weird tank build, okay, at max level, not a lot of people play tank builds. So if you're playing a backlash build, I guess this could be good. But it's not super duper popular, so I think it's going to be a D tier. And I just think tank builds are not that great nowadays. Kitsune Fan, melee range magic, 0 proc fire weapon, toggles between 2 modes. Club mode deals full damage, Master Club plus 5% damage. Unfolded dagger deals half damage, attempts to inflict bleed. Okay, this one, bleed, let me think. It is 0 proc and can swap between 3 modes. I think this gets a C. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's completely D, but C is still not fantastic. But you know, it's not completely useless. If you're playing a bleed build, I think you can consider that. Runebreaker Mace, 2 modes, damage mode deals full damage, second mode, Runebreaker mode, damages MP instead of HP, and you deal 1.5 times damage. I think this is not very useful today because not a lot of monsters actually use MP, so this is getting a D. Staff of Inversion, magic 0 proc light staff, comes with a toggle. First one lowers the BTH from -5 to -20, but of course you do get a damage boost on top of that. With the changes to blocking and, you know, player BTH, I don't think the Berserk mode is that fantastic, but the damage boost is pretty insane. Okay, you do need to find ways to boost your BTH to make this great, and this is a magic weapon after all, and mages already get a penalty to regular attacks, so you rather cast spells with it. And this only I think this only affects your attacks. I'm not really sure if it affects spells, but yeah, this is getting a C tier. Okay, could be a low B, I don't really know, but I think it's a C for now. Zilvana Arsenal, Melee range magic, 0 proc energy, dagger glaive, polearm slash staff. Okay, each, wait, no, is this? No, this is not. No, this is LG's bow, sorry. LG's bow is a range 100 proc fire bow. Deal minus 20% damage, and it will increase the damage dealt by pets and gas by 25%. If no gas is active, only deals minus 5% damage. So this is quite similar to your Foam Finger, to your Slaymore of Kindness. There are free options available, but yeah, I think for that reason alone, this is getting a D, similar to the other you know, weapon, the other pet and gas Beastmaster weapons here. You know, if we didn't have free variants, this might be worth a pickup, but you know, it's a rare box and we have free variants. I see no reason to go ahead and get this. Alright, next up, the Rainbow Twilly whatever. This one, you can, let me just double check again, what does this do? Rainbow Twilly Surfboard. If you attack, it shifts elements, so it's completely random element. You gain an ally shield, so the ally shield is actually decent, but the fact that you have to hit with random elements, yeah, I don't think it's completely useless. It might be useful in some situations if you want to tank. If you're FDBR, maybe you can use this for the ally shield, C tier. And let's see, Sky Stalker Bow. You have increased Lucky Strike chance on the first time you use it to attack. So if you equip it but you don't attack, it doesn't matter, or you can equip it on like the 10th turn. Okay, so the Lucky Strike buff affects your first attack with the weapon. Okay, so basically, I think this is not bad. Some people have comboed it with the Master Archer per my last arrow skill to some great effect. I think this gets, I don't know, I feel like people are gonna go crazy on me if I put this in C tier. Is this B? This is like high C, low B. I don't really know. Okay, I think this gets at least a B. Okay, Butcherer. Butcherer is the same but for magic. But for mages, you really don't use the attack weapon that much. The attack button that much. You're usually using spell. So I think this gets a C, okay? Next, we have the Guesses. Okay, wait, no. The armor, sorry. Chili form. You have two healing spells. Okay, one uses endurance and causes SP, the other uses intellect and causes MP. This is just bad. No idea why you want to get this. Headless Horseman has a pretty fast skill that people use for warring in the past, but right now, you know, it's just outclassed by H series. No other reason to get this, honestly. So D tier. Quester's Heavy Dragon Gunner. What does this do again? Let me just check. Quester's Heavy Dragon Gunner. Let me see. It's fully defensive fire armor, and it has two skills. First one, range fire spell type skill, Elicom increase skill damage. Second one is a healing spell that applies a mana shield. Okay, mana shield is lost upon changing armor, so you can't really use it for any crazy shenanigans, but on its own, I think it's not bad. I will give it, I don't know. I feel like you don't have a lot of synergy. If you want to use the mana shield, and then it has a range spell, so the only build that can use this to its full effect is a Ranger Pyre build. Yeah, which was the build that I used to play, and even then I didn't really use this. Okay, a range fire spell type skill that has Elicom makes you want to nuke, but at the same time the force field, the mana shield, and the fact that it's fully defensive makes you want to tank. So it's, yeah, not much synergy with anything, and it's only to use the armor to its full ability. It's only specific to one build, so for that I'm gonna give it D. Blazing Reflecting Plate. This one very interesting. Is a mid defensive fire armor. Okay, so these are one of the very few items or armors in the game that is, you know, not full offensive or full defensive, but mid defensive. Okay, it has a fire spell type skill, follows weapon damage type, Elicom increase skill damage, and attempt to inflict blind for 2 times hits number of turns. Okay, and this is based off the monster's fire resist. It's just not very good. Okay, so I will put this in the D tier. Whoops. Daimyo Rider. Okay, fully E offensive light armor, and you can undead trigger for pets and gas. While triggered 6 between the 8 standard elements. Additionally, the following criteria is met. Elicom will increase pet and gas damage. You have to combo this with Zorbat Ally Assist or some form of Undeadify, or like the necrotizing command skill from the Sepulture armor, in order to go ahead and make full use out of this. Okay, to get the Ellie Seek on your pets and gas. It's nice because it means all your pets and gas will can basically hit for any element, and you can just choose the strongest one that you have. But the caveat is that you have to turn it undead first if it's not already undead. Okay, Elicom also increases pet and gas damage, which is nice, but still, yeah. This one, some people think it's great for Beastmasters. I don't know. Is it getting a C from me? I think this might be a C, but this is like a very, very low C, bordering on D. Yeah, but I really don't recommend anyone to pick this up as like a first few pick. Right, next up, shields, Darkovian Bulwark, Earth / Darkness Shield, melee magic, block, toggles between Earth and Darkness. Okay, top level is only minus 25%. Resist versus Vampires or Werewolf, you gain plus 9 MRM with minus 3 MRM down trigger. Absolute garbage. Cerberus Shield, Water Shield, if enemy is burning, passively heal 33 SP. This is garbage as well. 33 SP is basically nothing, and on top of that you also need to inflict a burn first. Void Awakening War, so oh wait, what? Do you have this here? No, we no longer have this. Okay, sorry, please ignore that. Geo Logos, Earth Shield. Okay, you pay 98 SP per turn for extra 15 MRM. For dodge builds, this is great, and even if you're not a dodge build, you can go ahead and use this to get like extra chances for blocking. So for that reason, I think this gets a B tier. Okay, next we have the Frost Titan Head Shield, one of the best ice shields in the game, in my opinion, if not the best one. Okay, comes with 2 toggles. Each causes 78 SP when the monster attacks. Only one toggle can be active at a time. First one attempts to inflict a passive blind for 1 turn, minus 20 save bonus, and then the second one deals ice damage, okay, whenever you block. So yeah, each time you block, so there's dodge slash and there's blind. The blind effect is the blind infliction is based off dexterity, so you need to be some form of ranger build to use this to its full effect. Even if you're not ranger or some dodge, even if you're not a ranger build, you can use this for the dodge lash effect if you're playing some dodge lash build. Okay, and so yeah, this is actually pretty decent shield, one of the best shields in the game. I think this gets an A tier for sure. And this is only a rare box. Okay, Runebreaker Defender. If monster is greater than 0 MP, you take minus 3.57% damage. If monster has less than or equal to 0 MP, you deal extra 5% damage. Okay, this is quite interesting. Okay, regardless of what the monster has, you do get a bonus somewhat, and if used with the Runebreaker Mace, these effects are doubled to minus 7.14% if they have MP and plus 10% if they do not have MP. I do not think this is great. The numbers are just too small. Okay, if we had larger numbers, I think this might be awesome. Okay, because we'll be taking a lot less damage if the monster is greater than 0 MP. But because it's reliant on that, and also relying on the full set bonus to basically double it, yeah, this is garbage. And last but not least, Hexbound Solar Photosphere. Okay, Fire Shield comes with a quick cast skill, attempts to reflect all bleeds and burns onto the enemy. There aren't many enemies with bleeds and burns in the game, if I'm being very honest. So if you're not comboing this with the weapon that inflicts a burn on yourself, this is kind of useless in my opinion. This has plus 0 save bonus, and it also uses endurance for the save roll, which kind of sucks because not a lot of people use endurance. Okay, and it's modified by both bleed and burn potency, using whichever one is higher. Can be used once per turn and can succeed only twice per battle. Twice per battle I think is more than enough, but the fact that it can only be used once per turn, yeah, so if you fail, then you know have to wait for next turn again. You do need to combo it with the weapon. With the weapon it's decent, but it's really not the main point. I think this is C. Yeah, I don't think it's completely worthless, but it's just not very good. Alright, next up we have your spells. Okay, spells. Spells, first of all, we have Grimlord, right? Okay, Grimlord. Grimlord, what does Grimlord do again? Oh my god. Okay, deals 100% extra 100% damage and causes 95 HP per turn. Has a 9.9% chance to attempt to inflict paralyze. So this is a bonus on top of his extra damage, and I think this is absolutely fantastic. One of the best darkness damaging guests inside of the entire game. If you're looking for pure damage for darkness guests, I think this is a must get, and this is only common. So I think this should be S tier. Should I give this S tier? Yeah, 100 strongest darkness damage gets in the game on top of having a small chance to paralyze. Paralyze is useless, but you know, the fact that it gets it as a bonus, I think that's pretty nice. Okay, next one we have the mana bat. Can toggle to deal full damage, or you can toggle it to deal half damage and heal the MP based off damage dealt. This uses old conversion standards. I'm not sure if this is better or worse, but you have to boost it to quite a crazy amount in order for it to heal something that is significant. And gas also can't lucky strike, so for this reason alone, I don't think this is very worth it. This is the Gandalfin. Basically, you can cast it to get a mana shield, and you can lucky strike with this. So for mages, I think this is not bad. This gets a B from me. Demomorphosis, turn your foes into a demon. I think this is completely useless because you know, demons are basically just worse undead. We have more undead trigger stuff, and the undead trigger stuff are usually better than the demon trigger stuff. So this is D tier. Alright, next up, Iron Maiden. What does this do? I can't remember. Causes HP. Okay, causes 38 HP and 294 SP at level 150. And if all hits connect, this is 5 hits by the way. There's a chance of inflicting 100% damage for 1 turn. But to land all 5 hits, that's not really easy. And the worst part about this is no wait, not the worst. Sorry. Never mind. Ignore what I just said. So yeah, you need all 5 hits to connect, okay? If you have lesser than 5 hits, then I think you will still have a chance of inflicting daze, but your chance is greatly lower. It's also skills based off monsters' darkness resist. If this was like 1 or 2 hits, it might have been better, but yeah, you know, daze effect is not even that good. D tier. Gecko Chomp, Earth Spell, use minus 25% damage, attempts to inflict death loss for 4 turns, minus 20 save bonus. And this does not require the spell to hit, so even if you miss everything, you can still get the death loss, which is nice, but death loss is not really that good of a effect, so I'm going to say D. Mock Stereo, this got changed pretty recently, okay, to basically, I don't even know if it was a buff or nerf at this point. I think it was a very slight buff. Okay, you do extra 100% damage, but it's a 33% chance to attack the player after dealing damage equals to 229 HP, and this hit cannot be avoided. This is a pretty hefty HP cost, and you also have a 50% chance to inflict death loss for 1 turn on the enemy. So how do I feel about this? I think this is not the best because of how crazy the HP cost is, but you know, I wouldn't say it's completely useless. If you just want big fat damage, I guess you can go for this. This is C tier. But you know, if you're using the Paladin armor, you also have a guess that is completely free. But that one you can toggle it to cost SP or MP. And yeah, I don't know. If you want to pay for it using HP, I guess you can use this guess instead. So it's not completely useless in my opinion. Next up, what do we have here? The Dread Fiend of Nalgad. Ooh, this is a very good guess. Okay, there is a darkness and an ice version. So first up is a damage mode. Second mode gives you backlash. So, and it scales with charisma. And this backlash is actually pretty decent if you run charisma. Okay, ice or darkness backlash depending on which element you have, and because it's a specific standard 8 element backlash rather than, you know, harm damage, okay, this will get AliCom as well, which makes the backlash very, very strong. So I think this is going to be, oh my god, Fiend of Nalgad. I think this is an A tier. Yeah, if you're running, no, yeah, A tier. If you're running backlash build, I think this is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic if you're a backlasher. Okay, if you're not a backlasher, this is just meh at best. I don't really think you can use this much if you're not a backlasher. Next up, Epoch Slice. Okay, Epoch Slice, what does this do? Overcharge energy spell causes 871 MP at level 150. Deals 1.21 times damage and also deals minus 20% damage and attempts to inflict energy ally round for hits number of turns. So depending on how many hits you land, that will be the number of turns for this. This has partial save bonus. Not that great if I'm being honest. 16.81%. This is also pretty expensive to cast, so I would say this is D tier. Next up, Legion Cryo Cannoneer. This is, I think this is the best in slot. Ice Gas for damage, deals extra 50% damage and causes 105 HP. 105 HP is not a lot, this is the best damaging ice gas in the entire game. So I think this does get A tier. Okay, only 50%. If it was 100%, might have been same as the Grimlord. Next, Twisted Squitch. Water gas deals minus 44.47% damage. Attempts to inflict entangle. Okay, not very good nowadays. I don't know if Dex even does anything for monsters, but this is crap. Okay, so D tier. Moglotron, you can change between a Daze mode and a Burn mode. Burn mode is pretty decent. Daze mode is kind of useless, so I think this gets a C tier for the Earth Burn. King Linus, okay, you have a pure damage mode as well as a status mode, which deals half damage and attempts to inflict choke for one turn. The choke is actually not bad. Okay, Moglotron and Linus also has pet and gas version, so the ranking will be the same for both. I think both gets a C tier. Wait, no, should Linus get a higher tier? I don't know. I don't really think so. Okay, C tier. Legion Fenrir, okay, pure damage mode as well as a Berserk mode, which applies a minus 15 BTH Berserk lean to you. After attacking, attempts to inflict it onto the enemy as well. Okay, so if you're playing Dodge Slash, this is also pretty nice. And if you just want to max out your damage, you can use some crazy shenanigans using this gas with like your heal spells, your barriers and all that kind of stuff to boost it even further. So this one, I would say, oops, wrong one. Okay, Legion Fenrir, I think that's an A for me. Yeah, this is actually pretty decent. A for sure. Next, what else do we have? Let me see. Legion Fenrir. Is this it? Wait, what in the world is this? I have no idea what is this. Ghostly Infernal Scout. Yeah, this is the Ghostly Infernal Scout. Oh my god, I don't even recognize this. Ghostly Infernal Scout, you can toggle between two modes, pure damage mode and status mode, which deals half damage, attempts to inflict fear. Fear is useless, so D tier. Crack and Bamboozle, deals 0.7525 times damage, attempts to inflict daze, okay, useless. Mini Nalgath, swap between fire and dark, or is this Seed? Can't remember, but nothing good. Sin of Revontius, toggles between two modes, pure damage as well as parry mode, which deals minus 19.7% damage. After successfully attacking, passively attempts to lower the BTH of all enemy hits by 12 for the turn. This is good for Dodge Slash, I guess. Okay, and in some sense, this is almost a clone of the Ice one. The Ice Sword, Possessed Sword. Okay, but you do get a level 150 version of this, so this is going to be slightly better. I think this gets a C tier. It's quite overlooked, but I don't think it is that bad. Okay, Steam Trouble, Energy and Fire Pet, deals minus 12.5% damage, attempts to permanently reduce the enemy's MRM, but you know, Death Loss is not something that I think is very good, so this is getting a D tier. Next up we have, what is this pet called? Tank Bot. Yeah, this is your Tank Bot, I think. Is this Tank Bot? Yeah, okay, this is your Tank Bot. Okay, Tank Bot is one of the best pets in the game, in my opinion. Like, but some of them have been overshadowed by other pay-to-win stuff, but I still think it's really, really good. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me check. Okay, what does this do again? No, is this also Steam Trouble or is this Tank Bot? I can't remember. Oh my god. I think we'll leave this here for now. 1 second. Comes with a toggle. While toggle deals half damage and attempts to inflict death loss. Yeah, this is garbage as well. Yeah, this is not Tank Bot. I forgot what the name of this is. Wait, no. No, this is Tank Bot. Yeah. Lower foes defenses. Okay. No good, no good. Next up, your Go Hungry Abyssal Mimic. It's a contract style pet. Okay, it has different elements. It has darkness, fire, and earth. Okay, they are all the same tier. Okay, first up is normal mode, deals extra 15% damage, causes 2,206 gold at level 150. And the second mode deals extra 35% damage, but causes 6,600 18 gold. Okay, gold cost is technically a free cost if you ask me, and this amount of gold at max level is basically nothing, but you know, you're not getting as much as like your cryo cannoneer, which is 50%. You're not getting as much as like your Grimlock, which is like plus 100%. So I would say this one, because this exists, yeah, I don't think this can go higher, man. This is getting D tier because of the other better darkness damage pets that we have. Baron the Exile, pay 70 HP per turn to deal extra 50% damage. Again, one of the top tier darkness damage guess. Second only to Grimlord. So if you want big fat damage, then you definitely want to go for this guy. I think this gets in A tier, not really S tier in my opinion. Next up, we have your Pick Drake. Okay, so this is used for dodge slashing mainly. Okay, you can use Ban Banneret, which is a completely free option if you want to, and depending on if you want a I don't know, if you want your MRM buff to stack for longer, then you want to use Twisted Pick Drake. If you just want a quick and fast one for higher values, then you want to use Ban Banneret. Okay, both have its pros and cons, but overall, I think Pick Drake is slightly better than Ban Banneret. On top of that, you also have a choke mode. You know, maybe monsters, you can't dodge this monster. It has an auto hit attack. Then you can resort to the choke mode as well. And I think this is actually really good. So I think I am going to give it S tier, because even if you're not a dodge slash build, you can technically use this for you know, the choke mode. Okay, so S tier. Next up, yeah, your Infernal Android Fire Pet. You gain extra damage per turn, capped at plus 10%. No idea why they cap it. If the ramping was faster, if the cap was a lot higher, this would have been good. But for now, D tier. Okay, Bone Smasher, 2 modes, damage mode and status mode. Damage mode, full damage. Status mode, deals half damage. Attempts to inflict -7 death loss. Oh my god, death loss again. Crack, D tier. Riftwalker, Ice Pet. First one, does not attack, gives you 34 MRM against fire attacks, but only specific to fire. Scales with Charisma. Without Charisma, the MRM value is 17, and stat scaling can overcap. Okay, second mode, deals half damage, attempts to inflict daze for 1 turn based off the enemy's ice resist. 34 MRM is crazy, but it's only specific to one element, so I don't think it's that great. Daze is also not very good. I'm struggling. This one, it's either high D or low C, but I think I can give it a low C. You know, for just that specific element alone, this is going to be your best bet. Okay, now on to the miscellaneous items. Mana Trap, reduce magic damage taken, boosts dexterity and luck, and increase magic blocking. Okay, so when monster uses MP to cast spell, perform a counter attack that deals harm damage. This is actually decent for the Seed Rat monster, but apart from Seed Rat, I think the rest of the 99.99% of the monsters inside the game, this is just not that great. I mean, because most monsters usually don't use MP to cast spells or to attack, so unfortunately I'm going to have to give it a D tier unless we see more, you know, MP casting monsters inside the game. Yeah, then this could be bumped up, but for now, the amount of monsters that we have that actually does something that, you know, can make this item shine is just too little for it to be good. Teledosian Pendant, reduce energy damage taken, and it grants 10 potents for Berserk, Control, Fear, Panic, Sleep, and the Cold. I do not think this is really good either. Like, you know, you might as well get Optical for the generic status potency. Why even use this? And then Power Core, energy miscellaneous item, increase the damage of all outgoing energy damage, player weapon, special spell and pet by 20% for 78 SP per turn, okay, for the player, and 31 SP per turn for the pet. Cost is only paid when an attack is attempted, and these boosts apply to all damage the player is using a robot, mecha, or mech armor, or if pet is considered robot, mecha, or mech. So yeah, if you're in some sort of weird machine armor, if the machine or mecha or robot tag, then this will be slightly better. But on its own, this only affects energy damage, but I think this is, I don't know, it doesn't give a main stat, and we are seeing more and more 20% damage boost miscellaneous items. Considering this does cost a rare box, I'm gonna give it D. Yeah, okay. And now we are finally moving on to ultra rares. Whew, final stretch. But ultra rares, there's a lot of items here as well. Okay, let's get started. Chamber Eternity Love, Magic 100 proc, Harm 1. Okay, so Harm element, somewhat useful. Gets a B tier from me. And then next up we have your Dracaf Fiend Blade. Clicking on it, equips the Dracaf Fiend form armor. Is a compressed, fully offensive darkness armor with fire and ice secondaries. And yeah, it has a toggle that locks normal attacks, not specials or spells, to darkness. Elicom increases normal attack damage. I don't think this is great. This is an ultra rare box, so these items have to be really good for it to be worth. Alright. Kazarov's Devastation attempts to inflict death loss. No, why would you spend an ultra rare for death loss? Rune Legion Broadsword, a monster is undead, weapon element changes to light induced plus 5% damage. Why? So bad. Ceremonial Legion Blade, special attempts to inflict choke, and it's only 20 proc. Come on, this is an ultra rare? Are you kidding me? Wing Sapphire Staff, Magic 20 proc Water Staff, deals minus 15% damage. In order for spells that deal water damage to deal one of two statuses. First up is a regen, okay, no save, and second is a water burn. None of which are particularly powerful, so D tier. Star Saber of Hatred, wow, this does absolutely nothing. No idea why this is ultra rare. Trail Scorn, you take extra 10.71% damage in order for attacks with this weapon to deal extra 15% damage. Mastercraft, you get another 5% damage. This is ultra rare, whereas your Blood Blades are like only rare, so for that reason, this is getting a D tier. Void Splinter, Sunderer, Tether, Melee Magic 20 proc Darkness Sword Staff, comes with a harm toggle. You pay 55 SP per turn to deal harm damage with no penalty. That's nice, but this is also 20 proc, but you know, this one I will just give it B tier like everyone else. Okay, B tier for you. Giant Butcherer, your... Okay, so Giant Butcherer plus 10% damage if monster is greater than 0 strength. Same thing. Okay, let me 1 second. This is Titan Slayer? I think this is Titan Slayer. Let me just double check. Yeah, Titan Slayer. Okay, Titan Slayer does the exact same thing. If Titan Slayer is used with Titan Arm, it gains an additional 5% damage when triggered. Still bad, so D tier. Hasu Horimono, it does nothing as well. D tier. Cleaving Dragon Buster, melee magic 0 proc Fire Sword, gains a conditional dragon trigger. So this is, yeah, you gain BTH instead of damage. Somewhat similar to the Golden Dragon Spear, but this one is BTH instead of damage. I think this is D as well. Yeah. Celtic Cleaver, 1.5 times Lucky Strike rate. C tier, I guess. Caliborg used to be the best darkness weapon in the game, but that's been outclassed now. If the player attacks with this weapon, has a small chance to attempt to inflict bleed. Okay, it's not completely worthless, but it's not that great anymore nowadays, so C tier. Golden Paragon weapons. Okay, so for the hammer, which is the melee version, you have your... What else do you have? The bow, which is the range version, and the staff, which is the magic version. So there's a soul harvest mechanic. Okay, at the end of battle, there is a chance to gain a soul. Can hold up to 25 souls at once. Harvested souls, you deal extra damage based on how many souls you have. So the more souls you have, the more damage you deal. Yeah, I just dislike this. The fact that you need to win a battle in order to charge it. Oh my god, this will take forever to charge. So no thanks. Now guys, Rev. 20 proc Fire Sword, so there's a 20% chance instead of dealing damage, it instead deals harm damage to you, but greatly empowers your next weapon based attack. Multiple specials increase the damage boost further. This is basically their first foray into more of the Onrov's Zealous Rage style effects. For people or for returning players who remember what is Onrov's Zealous Rage and Sacragon Spear, yeah, this is basically what it does, but you know, at level 150. It's not horrible, but it's really not the best either. I'll give it a C tier. Zabi Scythe. Okay, Zabi. Okay, this one same as your Void Splinter, Void Sunderer, all that. Harm damage, so this is getting a B tier. Zabi Scythe, range 0 proc Darkness Scythe, and after attacking the weapon, attempts to permanently reduce the monster's MRM. Oh my god, death loss again. Garbage. Next, Galax Scythe. This does nothing. So D tier. Luminous Wave. Magic 0 proc Wind Staff deals minus 15% damage in order for spells that deal wind damage to inflict one of two statuses. Death Boost, okay, or Choke. So the numbers, again, they are not super high. For that reason, I think this gets a D. Ragnarok, special deals extra 33% damage, and it's a 5% chance for the special to trigger. Yup, D tier. Agony's Embrace, the best in slot darkness weapon currently in terms of pure damage. Melee range magic, 0 proc sword, polearm and sword. You take extra 10.714% damage in melee or range and extra 8.035% damage in magic mode. In order for attacks with this weapon to deal extra 15% damage. And on top of that, the Mastercraft increases damage dealt based on missing HP by plus 1 minus current HP over max HP times 10%. For example, for 25% missing HP, you're dealing extra 2.5% damage. So this, in my opinion, this is an S tier. You can basically use this for any build. And it's even better than the Bloodblade if you're talking in terms of the maximum boost that you can get. The fact that you're taking more damage with this weapon means it synergizes well with its Mastercraft effect. So the lesser HP you have, the more damage you deal. So good synergy, that's why it gets an S. Man of War X, melee magic 20 proc water X, special has a chance to paralyze. Ooh, D. Okay, Hunger. Melee magic 0 proc darkness sword toggles between healing your HP, MP or SP equal to 5, 7.5 or 5.625% of damage dealt divided by the monster's resistance. Okay, I think this will get this is slightly better than Taxing Cutlass because you can convert between all three modes, but is this deserving of an A tier? Is this deserving of an A tier? Let me think. Yeah, it's divided by the monster's dark resist. Otherwise, the weapon is disproportionately stronger on stuff with higher dark resist. So, unfortunately, because of that, I think it's still a B tier, but I think this is above Taxing Cutlass for sure. Yeah, this is better than Taxing Cutlass, though this is an ultra rare compared to the rare. But I don't think it's good enough for it to be an A tier. Next up, your Switch Saber of Hope and Power. Damage mode has a minus 10 BTH lean and deals extra 5% damage. And accuracy mode has a 10 BTH lean plus 10 BTH lean and gains an additional 4.25 BTH. Okay, I think this is garbage. Ultimate Dragon Scythe of Elements, compress all 8 standard elements, deals minus 15% damage and causes the player to take extra 10.7% increased damage or 8.03% for magic to compensate. Yeah, unless for some reason you want to carry 7 different utility weapons, I see no reason to use this at all. Like, compressing 8 elements just isn't that attractive to me. Considering how much you have to give up, you need to take more damage and you also deal less damage. So, D tier. Gilded, wait, no, is this Gilded Dread Scythe? I don't think so, right? What is this? 1 second, let me just double check. Yeah, this is Frost Destroyer. Okay, yeah, same with the stat scaling weapons, greater than 0 strength, more damage. Okay, Gilded Dread Scythe is a range 10 proc light scythe, special attempts to inflict 100% fear. Ooh, but you know, only 10% chance, so rubbish. Titan's Triumph, special deals extra 16.67% damage, and it has 20% chance to for the special to go off. Trash. Next, X of Cerberus, melee magic 20 proc water X. Special attempts to inflict a power 1.96 water burn for hits for number of turns based off your hits, and full set bonus if used with General of Cerberus armor, which is kind of bad, and Cerberus shield, which is also kind of bad. Burn is increased to power 5.88. If you're using it in the full set, I think it's not bad, but yeah, I just don't think this is that great. Okay, because 20 proc, you only get a 20% chance to inflict the burn, so yeah, D tier. What else is there? What is this? Is this the Devourer of Souls? I think this is Devourer of Souls. Let me just double check. Yep, Devourer of Souls. Basically the same as the the Golden Paragon weapon. Yeah, I think this is just bad. D tier, just a different element basically. You have Limit Buster. Okay, limit charge for each 1% 0 minus n max HP loss. So for every 29.58 HP loss, assuming you have no intellect, you gain no endurance, you gain 1 limit charge. Player must survive the damage in order to gain charges, can hold up to 200 limit charges, and if at least 100 limit charges are stored, it enables a skill, which is a standard weapon attack, deals extra damage based on the number of charges that you have, consumes all limit charges, and this deals 15 hits. That's right, guys, 15, you heard me right. So this is on top of that, if you have max charges, you deal extra 200% damage. Yeah, this can basically overcome all damage caps. This is how crazy this is. But the downside is that you're going to have to spend basically forever just to charge this. And on top of that, even though it can carry over between battle, this is basically a one-turn use. Sujin has some nice videos showcasing this, so you guys can go and check out his channel if you want to see this weapon in action. But because of how long it takes to charge, I think I can only give it B tier. Yeah, I won't go higher than that. Masamune, melee magic 0 proc water sword, comes with a toggle. You pay 226 SP or 209 SP in magic for 15 BTH and 1.4 times lucky strike rate. I don't think this is that great, and I think this is quite overrated personally speaking. Like 15 BTH not super useful for me. 1.4 times lucky strike rate, I can just cast Time Killer or Arms of the Dragon Guard if I want more lucky strike. So yeah, this one I would say C. Not completely useless, but not very useful either. And then your Arcane Cutlasses, so these boosts your spell casting, and they did get changed. I think it was late last year to give an even bigger boost than what I was giving before, because the whales were making noise about how the nerf to it was just dumb. So great job, whales. Okay, this is fantastic change. Okay, and you deal minus 15% damage, increase the damage of all weapon element hits from spells by 30%. I don't know if this is updated or not, but whatever. Okay, so this is the best item to use for spell casting. The only downside is that it only affects one specific element. So if you want to boost all of your elements, you're going to have to carry like 8 Arcane Cutlasses around. Okay, I think this is an A tier for sure if you want, you know, pure damage. So yeah, A tier. And then next we have hold on one second. Is this Lightcaster? Okay, Lightcaster, what does this do? I don't even remember. Melee range magic 0 proc light sword, deals minus 25% damage. After attacking, has a small chance to inflict Spirit Rend, which is basically like freeze. Okay, this one is not reliant on any special going off, which makes it slightly better, which means every time you attack, you have a small chance to attempt to inflict it. I think this is C because it's not reliant on a special, and you get a turn, you get an attempt to inflict it every time you attack. So yeah, probably C. Exalted Unity, one of the best light weapons in the entire game. Melee range magic, 0 proc sword. As a charge system, you gain 4 Unity charges passively, 3 magic, but can also spend a turn to gain an additional 80 charges. Comes with a multitude of quick cast skills that consume charges. For 27 charges, you gain auto hit. Another 27 charges, you gain 33.3% light and darkness ally and power. Okay, and then for 40 charges, you can get a darkness imbue. So, in my opinion, this is an A. The only reason why it's not an S is because it requires a lot of charging. But nonetheless, definitely one of the best light weapons in the game, for sure. Next up, we have your Dragon Blade of Nalgath, conditional dragon trigger. For dragons, extra 10% damage and seeks the 8 standard elements. For Draco or Dragonkin, you get extra 5% damage. Again, D tier, because reliant on your foe being a dragon. Reese Absolute Annihilator, melee range magic, 0 proc, harm sword, spear staff, deals minus 10% damage. Due to element, this gets B because it does harm. Twisted Saber of Balance, you heal SP equal to 5.625% of the damage dealt. Basically a clone of your Taxing Cutlass. Okay, so this will get a B, but it's like a low B or something. Oh, why do I keep dragging that? Damn it. Okay. Hope I didn't accidentally shift anything around. The Twisted Atreya Dream Weapon, so whether you're the weapons, okay, the dagger 1.5 times lucky strike rate, glaive is the same, and the rod is 1.5 times lucky strike damage. So all of these are going to be C tier. Okay, 1.5 times lucky strike stuff, whether it's damage, whether it's rate. Yeah, they are okay, but they are not the best. Okay, Mega Soaker is a range 100 proc water gun, can consume 1 HP and 1 MP potion to gain 2 charges, can hold up to 10 charges at once if charges are available, consumes 1 charge to do extra 100% damage. Now, most people, unless you're a whale, you don't have a fast way of regaining HP and MP potions. Okay, but you know, if you guys want a secret trick on how to get 25 HP and MP potions fast, then check out this shot over here. Okay, what you can do with this is it's actually pretty good if you have ways to, you know, get your HP and MP potions fast. Okay, but of course the downside is that if you keep using this, then eventually you run out and you might not have enough for regular combat. So I don't think this is the worst, but it's really not the best either. So C tier. Shadow Reaper of Doom. This is the strongest darkness weapon in terms of pure damage and nothing else. Okay, beating out even the, what's that called, this guy right here. I momentarily forgot the name. Yeah, but the reason why this is not as great as that is because what it does is it sacrifices BTH. The Doom Berserker mode, while toggle, lower the BTH limit from -3 to -25. Additionally, burn is increased to power 2.125. Okay, pay -6 MRM attempts to inflict burn. Darkness burn for 2 turns each time you attack with the weapon. This is the best weapon if you're warring, because you can offset the Berserker lean using your momentum, so you don't have to suffer the penalty, the minus BTH penalty. So if you want to be the top tier warmonger, then this is a must. But otherwise, I would say it's not really that great outside of warmongering. Okay, outside of warring, so C tier. Okay, your Golden Whale Kneeboard Magic Zero Proc Earth Club. Pay 52 HP to deal extra 20% damage. Not sure why you would use this when the Blood Blaze exists, but this is not bad nonetheless. Okay, I think this gets, let me see. This gets B tier. Yeah, probably B tier because of what it does for the cost. Okay, wait, no, hold on a second. No. The Blood Blades are rare, right? This is ultra rare. I stand corrected. This is D tier. D tier for sure, because this is ultra rare, not worth it. Okay, and as its name suggests, I guess you only get it if you're a big whale. I just got this for the flex, and because, you know, I got a certain number of likes, I made a promise, and yeah, stupid decisions. Anyways, moving on. Hexbound Prominence, mini range magic, 0 proc fire sword, spear, or magic sword. Flavor effect, attacks with this weapon applies a power 0.5 or 0.38 a magic fire burn after attacking in exchange for plus 15% damage. And you also gain endurance over 80 times 1.5 times stat damage as the Mastercraft effect. Full set bonus for each piece of the Hexbound set, armor and shield equipped, you do an extra 5% damage. So this has the potential to be better than the Bloodblade if we are talking about that. And you can also use it regardless of what build you are. Whereas for the Bloodblade, you either have to be a warrior or a mage. So rangers don't get any love out of this. But this one applies to all builds, and you know, you get extra bonus damage if you train endurance. Not that I think many people train endurance, but I think this is definitely a tier A plus. You know, this is better than the Bloodblades, but I don't think this is like S tier. Yeah, in my opinion, because this just does pure damage. Okay, so not S tier, but definitely high A. Okay, you have your Engraced and Tarnished Blade of Elders. One is light, one is dark. Okay, so the Engraced or Tarnished Blade, okay, of Elders is a standard weapon-based skill that deals half damage, attempts to inflict poison for 2 turns, and the poison heals your HP equal to the true damage dealt. Okay, so this one you can click on it to inflict poison. It's not very strong poison, but for people who like to play poison builds, I think this is decent. C tier. For the Unhilted one, for each unique dot type on the enemy bleed burn poison, you take minus 3.57% damage, capped at minus 14.29% damage for 4 effects. Not very good already, because you need to inflict a lot of different dot effects in order for this to be great. And rather than have the 0 proc damage bonus, has a 32% chance after attacking to inflict to inflict poison for 1 turn. Again, the poison heals your HP equal to true damage dealt. This is strictly worse than the other one because you do not know if you will get to inflict the poison or not. So yeah, D. Next, what is this? 1 second. Seraph Calamity. Yeah, Seraph Calamity. Okay, so this one, what this does is Magic 0 proc light staff deals minus 15% damage in order for spells that deal light damage to inflict one or two statuses, blind or burn. Again, the numbers are kind of crappy, so I think this is D. I don't think you should get it. Eye of the Underworld. It's a Magic 0 proc darkness staff deals minus 15% damage in order for spells that deal darkness damage to attempt to inflict poison or fear. Same thing here. Voice Edge. Okay, Mastercraft melee range magic 0 proc. Harm Sword Glaive Staff deals minus 10% damage due to element, and you can pay 5% melee, 3.75% if magic in HP, which is 17 HP or 13 HP for magic, to deal extra 5% damage. Mastercraft will get another 5% damage. I think this is one of the better harm weapons out there. Okay, B tier. And then we also have, what else do we have? The Shock Monkey Shortboard. So each time you dodge an attack, you get extra damage boost, and I think it goes up to like 100% if you dodge everything the previous turn, which is absolutely crazy. So this gets an A tier for me. If you're playing a dodge slash build, I think this is really good, but this is only specific to warriors because this only does melee. So if you're playing some sort of beast warrior build that has dodge slash in it, yeah, then this will be great. Okay, Retro Akrilov Surfboard. So the Retro Akrilov Surfboard is a range fire surfboard, pays Mastercraft and 25% weapon damage to attempt a 1-turn stun rate fear. D tier. Okay, and the Ice Demon mini board is a magic ice weapon. You pay Mastercraft and 45% mini HP cost when casting an ice spell to apply one or two status effects, either ice poison or fear. Okay, so yep, again this is bad as well. Next up we have your Granddad's Great Sword. This one you get 3 times Lucky Strike damage. If you want to go all out on max damage, then this is the way to go, and Lu Pao has made plenty of gifs using this weapon. Absolutely insane. 3 times Lucky Strike damage. I think this is deserving of an A tier. I do not think this goes up to S. He probably thinks this is an S, but yeah, I feel like it's an A tier because you are greatly limited by the damage caps inside of the game. Alright, now for the armors. Fiend of Light. This was something that I missed out last year. You can fix Spirit Rend, which is Light Freeze. Decent, but honestly not the best. Okay, and on top of that, I think it's only a 1 hit or something. So I think this is probably getting a C tier. Should this get any higher? Should this get a B? No, I think this gets a C tier. Sorry. Okay, next we have your Bone Breaker Berserker. Okay, what does this do again? 1 second. Bone Breaker Berserker. Okay, fully offensive darkness armor with fire and earth secondaries and deal extra 7.5% damage if any of the following statuses are inflicted on the enemy. Blind Choke, Death, Loss, or Early Round. Garbage. Samurai Warlord Oyoroi. Okay, mid-offensive earth armor. Again, another one of those rare armors that are like not fully offensive, not fully defensive, but mid-offensive. Okay. As a weapon-based skill, Shiko Storm follows weapon element, deals either range or magic damage depending on weapon damage type. Nothing special. D tier. Spirit Protector, fully offensive fire and ice armor, and comes with a skill, fire spell type skill, follows weapon damage type. Ally Com increases skill damage, deals minus 29.75% damage and attempts to paralyze. Okay, and if the chance to paralyze is greater than 100%, has a chance to paralyze for 2 turns. No good. Next, Light Lord's Cleric, extra 10% healing. Honestly, why is this even ultra rare? Revenant, fully offensive darkness armor. Passively gain a charge each turn up to 40. Charges can carry over between battles. If at max charges, you deal extra 5% damage. And upon taking lethal damage, the amount of overkill damage is recorded. All charges are consumed, healing the player for a number based on how many charges you have of their max HP. This healing is not enough to bring the player over 0 HP. The fight is lost as per normal. After the rest of the battle, further charge generation is disabled and deal extra 5% damage. Yeah, overall one of the worst armors in the game as well. Next up, we have your Blood Mage armors. Blood Mage is still a very strong option nowadays. Comes with a 2-hit skill regardless of which element it is. And if you just want to go nuke and more nuke, Blood Mage is a very solid choice. But because it doesn't do more than just pure damage, I think it only is deserving of an A, considering that the nuke skill by itself is only 2 hits. But of course, you don't have to use the skill. You can go ahead and cast other spells in this armor, and you still do fantastic damage. You can, cast Fireball Z in it and, deal huge damage. Okay, Dwarven Warrior, fully offensive Earth armor. Okay, deals plus 7.5% damage when using axes, hammers, or mace. D tier. Oh wait, no, this is Giant's Might. Sorry. Dwarven Warrior is this one. Okay, Giant's Might, neutral Earth armor. Okay, you pay 9 MRM to deal extra 15% damage in this armor. You also get extra 5% damage for Mastercraft. And for full set bonus, if using Giant's Wrath, you deal an additional 5% damage for weapons and specials. Okay, this is just a flat damage boost, very boring. Okay, and with your Blood Zerkers and your Blood Mages basically in the same tier, I think it's just not useful, so D tier. Warlord of Nalgath, fully offensive Earth/Darkness armor. After attacking in this armor, attempts to inflict poison. Okay, not very good. D tier. Paragon Plate, fully offensive Darkness armor. And this one, you get a soul harvest nonsense as well. You deal extra damage based on how many souls you harvest. Very bad, D tier. Next, we have your Demon Mancer Plate. It's a fire and darkness armor and comes with a fire darkness spell type skill that addy seeks between the two elements and defaults to darkness if both are equal. Follows weapon damage type, nothing special. Evolve Void of Nalgath, you get 1.5 times lucky strike rate inside of this armor. Now, having this inside of an armor, I don't know how I feel. I think it's just not as good. Okay, if it's inside of a weapon, you're not sacrificing too much. But I feel like sacrificing an armor slot just for this, I think it's D tier. Then we have, what is this? I think this is your Blood Zerker armor. Yeah, Blood Zerker armor, same as Blood Mage. Okay, best for pure damage, but apart from that, nothing really fantastic. So this one, I'm going to put this as A tier. Also 2 hits, by the way, if you lock your attacks. Interesting. Grand Warp Rider, what it does now is they basically turned it into a clone of Morlock Torturers, okay, but instead of fire and water, you're given wind and earth. Okay, quite interesting change that they made there, but I don't think it's super useful. So I'm going to give it D tier. And next up, your Blacksmith Garb. Okay, it's a fire armor with earth and darkness secondaries, and it comes with a skill, a fire spell type skill. Deals either melee or magic damage depending on your stats. Elicom increased skill damage. Deals minus 30% damage and attempts to inflict daze. Okay, so this is bad. Fiend of Virgil. Neutral darkness armor with fire secondary, and you pay 3 MRM to increase the damage of all burns and poisons by 25%. And it also has a darkness weapon based skill that follows weapon damage type. Okay, Elicom reduce SP cost, so it's 160 for melee and range, 258 for magic, and you deal minus 45% damage and attempts to inflict darkness poison for 4 turns. So if you're playing with some sort of burn or poison build, this is actually decent. I'm gonna give it C. Okay, will it go up to B? I don't know. I think for now it's a C. It might get bumped up to a B. Okay, General of Cerberus is a fully offensive if you're using the striker version, and fully defensive if you're using the defender version. Okay, Wrath of Cerberus is a skill. Water spell type skill, follows weapon damage type. Elicom increase skill damage. Deals half damage and attempts to inflict water burn. Okay, full set bonus. When used with the weapon and shield, burn is increased to power 3.23. Not very good. D. This is what is this actually? Let me just check again. Twisted Dragon Hide armor. Oh my god, I think this is just horrible. Let me just double check what this does. Okay, fully offensive earth armor gains a dragon trigger. When trigger, armor resistances change to resist the enemy's base element. I guess it's good if you're facing dragons that hit with a bunch of different elements, but usually they are not that threatening. So D tier, and this is an ultra rare, so definitely not wasting it on an ultra rare. Cleric of Carnifex, okay, fully offensive fire and ice armor. Has a fire ice spell type skill that seeks between the two elements. Deals either range or magic damage, okay. Nothing special, but I think the art for this is very nice. Nonetheless, D tier. Excuse me, okay, these are your Paladin Riders, whatever the heck you call it, right? What are these called again? Paladin Rider, yeah. And your Champion Paladin Rider. Okay, so the standard one, there's a Crimson one, there's a Champion version, okay. So the standard one, Summon Steed, okay, attempts to inflict light Elival. The Crimson one seeks between light and fire, so Crimson one useless. Okay, Champion one seeks between light and energy and attempts to inflict daze, also useless. In fact, I think the best one might be the standard one. Okay, the Elival is somewhat useful. I don't really know how to say this. There's also a unique skill. Okay, so the standard one, weapon-based skill. Let's see, damage is modified based on missing health, starting at minus 50% full HP to plus 75% 0 HP. Not that great. Crimson one seeks between light and fire, and yeah, also modified by missing HP. Okay, and the Champion one is an overcharged light / energy spell type skill, 1.4 times cost. Okay, follows weapon damage type. Oh my god. I kind of want to give the standard one a C tier, but I think looking at the second skill, I think it's only worth a D tier. Yeah, sorry. Okay, and then next up we have your Bards of War. Okay, Bard of War. It is the best armor for Beastmasters, hands down. You get a skill that does damage based off charisma. You can toggle celerity for your pet and your guest. These are not guaranteed, so you might not get it if you fail the roll. But that being said, it is free for pet toggle, and for guest toggles you only need to pay the upkeep cost of your guest twice. Okay, so for this reason, I think if you're a Beastmaster, this is an S tier. Next up, let's see, what else do we have? Is this Legion Marauder? Okay, Legion Marauder. Okay, I think this is also bad. Let me just double check. Okay, fully offensive ice armor, and you have an ice spell type skill, follows weapon damage type, and the skill seeks between void, harm, and ice against dragons. Yep, not that great. GPS. Okay, there's a few different variants of this. In fact, there's 4 different variants. Okay, there are the fully offensive versions as well as the fully defensive versions, and one does the, what do you call it, the fire? No, the burn. Okay, one does burn and the other one does poison. So you have fully offensive fire, fully offensive poison, fully defensive fire, and fully defensive poison. Okay, so the best one undoubtedly is going to be the fully offensive burn one. Okay, that is just super duper strong, and I think that is deserving of an A tier armor. Okay, and as for the others, I think fully offensive poison probably goes here as well. It's also decent. As for the fully defensive variants, I think they are not that great. So the rest, I think they deserve a D. Okay. Frozen Dragon Slayer. All player attacks, special and skills deals plus 10% damage against dragons, plus 5% damage against Dragonkin and Draker, and minus 5% damage against everything else. The skill, Ice Spell type skill, call forth the Ice Dragon, deals either range or magic damage depending on your stats, and it seeks between void, harm, and ice against dragons, and seeks between harm and ice against Dragonkin or Draco. D tier, you can Draco Morgify to use the skill, I guess, but I think it's not really worth it just to get the void thing out. And also Draco Morgify usually is 2 turns if the monster, you know, isn't a dragon or Draco at all. So yeah, all in all, you're spending like 3 turns just for void damage when, you know, can just do 3 turns worth of boosted regular elemental damage. So D tier. Living armor, this is crap. Fully defensive earth armor, passively heal about 15.86 HP per turn. Yup, horrible healing. Okay, and then you have your Necro Cavalries. Okay, so the Earth one is fully defensive, and it comes with, okay, all of them comes with an Elival skill. Okay, So the Earth one also has a toggle with Mana M for plus 10% spell damage, Anima M for 20% pet and gas damage, or full M for both. Okay, so on top of that, you also have the Decay skill, which gives your attempts to inflict like extra 92% ele round on your foe, which is very nice. But you know, this is fully defensive, so I don't know why they made it that way. That being said, I don't think it's horrible. Is it horrible? Yeah, actually it is, because it doesn't synergize with anything. Fully defensive doesn't synergize with your ele round nuke, doesn't synergize with your amplification, which is also what you want to use for nuking. For wind, is a toggle, rending weave, you got, which attempts to inflict bleed on your attacks, chilling weave, which attempts to paralyze, and chilling rend for both effects. Okay, and the wind variant is spellcaster, but you know, we have the wind blood mage now, so yeah, this one I think is going to be D tier as well. And then for fire, you have a fire spell, Elicom increase spell damage, deals half damage, attempts to inflict fear for 4 turns. Fire is fully defensive, so oh my god. And the best one, of course, is going to be the ice version. Okay, spellcaster lean, and you get a 6-hit haunting spell, okay, with Elicom to increase damage. Yep, very very good. If you're a mage, if you're not a mage, then obviously do not get this, S tier. Alright, next up, what do we have here? Let me see. This one is, what armor is this? Hexbound. Okay, Hexbound Solar Core. This is quite an interesting armor. Okay, fully offensive fire armor and light secondary. Okay, all attacks with this armor deals extra 30% damage, but after every attack inflicts a power 1 or power 0.75 in magic. Fire burn onto yourself for 3 turns. This boost also applies to bow-like attacks, but not skills. Okay, and it also has a skill called Prominence Lance, which is a overcharged fire weapon based skill that follows weapon damage type. Deals extra 50% damage, and rather than pay extra SP, skill inflicts a 1.5 fire burn onto the player for 5 turns. Elicom reduces the skill's SP cost to 127 for melee and range and 225 for magic. Pretty cheap skill. Okay, good damage, but of course you have to suffer the fire burn. I think this is actually pretty decent since you do get plus 30% damage as well. I do not think this is a top tier armor, but I think this is a very very good armor. So A tier for me. Next up, Hydro Campus Rider and all of the Hydro Campus armors. This is garbage. You get Mastercraft plus 105 initiative, and that's basically it. Like, this is daylight robbery, man. Absolute crap. Alright, now for the shields. Okay, the shields. 1 second. Go ahead and check the shields. Okay, Golden Dragon Head Shield is a light shield. You gain lucky strike rate based on how many blocks you how many times you manage to block the enemy. Okay, the enemy did not attack or the shield is first equipped, you gain plus 5% lucky strike rate. This is basically your combination between hypercrit and dodge, and I didn't know this existed beforehand, but now that I know, this is the standard. Yeah, so you manage to block everything, you get 33.33% LS rate. Actually, this is decent. Yeah, this is decent. Why isn't this brought up more often? I think this actually gets C tier. I don't see it used a lot, but I think this gets a C tier. Maybe B, might be a low B. Okay, Titan Arm. Fire Shield takes minus 7.14% damage from monsters with greater than 0 strength. This is basically the shield version of the Giant's Rev, Giant's Butcherer, all that kind of weapons. When used with Titan Slayer, you take minus 10.71% damage instead. So this is D. Okay, Golden Paragon Protector. The Soul Harvester, more souls you have, you reduce the damage. They're basically the opposite of the weapon. D tier, this one you have your Omega Soaker Bulwark. You gain a charge after blocking an attack, automatically consumes 12 charges to gain 1 HP and 1 MP potion. Okay, and when used with Mega Soaker, gains twice as many charges on block. Unless your enemy just has plenty of attacks, and unless you're playing some form of dodge to dodge all of them, this is, I would say, is not that great, but gaining 1 HP and 1 MP potion, you need to block 12 attacks in order to get it. Assuming each enemy hits you twice, that's like 6 turns. Okay, but of course, if you use it with the weapon, that's like 3 turns. Overall, yeah, I don't think this is that great. D tier. Mindbreaker Defender, Energy Shield. This is the best Energy Shield in the game, hands down. It has a quick cast skill, does not deal damage, attempts to inflict 2 effects for 2 turns each, minus 9 MRM and minus 28.34 BTH blind. Each status is inflicted separately with minus 20 save bonus. Yeah, this is a fantastic shield for sure, and the best energy shield in the game. So definitely worth a pickup S tier. Next up, you have your spells. Okay, spells. We have Arms of the Dragon Guard. So this one, unfortunately, only Rangers or Mages will be able to use this. Warriors can still use this, but it won't be as good because it scales off intellect or dexterity. It doesn't scale off strength at all, unfortunately. And you can just cast this once to get enough hyper crit, assuming you're a ranger or a mage. You can cast this once and you have enough hyper crit to guarantee critical hit for the next turn. Okay, you can combo this with celerity, but it's not quick cast, so that's a bit unfortunate. I think this is an A tier for me. Yep, definitely an A tier. Kiss of the Angel of Darkness, healing spell has a 5% chance to grant 1 HP and 1 MP potion. Pretty standard, slightly better than a regular healing spell because of the small chance to get extra potions. But is this worth an ultra rare? I'm gonna say no. Okay, and then you have your booster packs and guesses. These are generic boosters, so Polala will boost all magic damage, Dunamis will boost all melee damage, and Tunda will boost all range damage. So in my opinion, these generic boosters are probably S tier. Okay, if you want, you know, to get the most bang out of your build, then you definitely want to go for the generic boosters. I'll talk about the specific element boosters later. Okay, so these are priority picks for sure. And depending on which build you are, you know, Mages go for Polala, Dunamis for Warriors, and Rangers for Tunda. Alright, Zard droppings, Wind Spell, deals minus 24.75% damage and has a chance to paralyze for 1 turn. If infliction rate is greater than 100%, paralyzed for 2 turns. Okay, as its name suggests, this spell is exactly like droppings, complete garbage. Furious Trouble, energy spell can click on the trouble within the first 2 seconds of animations to change its effect. If you don't click, you deal minus 24.75% damage, but each successful hit of the spell increases the damage of all subsequent hits by 10%. And if you click on it, it deals minus 60% damage but applies a plus 17 BTH boost for 2 times number of hits, number of turns. Okay, and this spell actually has quite a fair amount of hits, and I think this is quite an underrated spell. Okay, again, I do not think this is used very often for some reason, but I think this is decent. Okay, I'm going to give it C, and I think this is very similar to Golden Dragon Head. Maybe if more people discover it and do some crazy stuff with it, it might be better, but for now, I think we will give it a conservative C first. Might be B, I don't know. Okay, next we have your Shadowside Floater. Okay, Shadowside Floater is a guess, right? Yeah, okay, so guess deals 3 times damage with 3 times the upkeep. After attacking, the guess must be active for 2 full rounds before it can attack again. During this cooldown, it has no upkeep. I don't know. You don't really get any bonus out of the guess. So, but you know, if you want straight up damage, then I guess this is your way to go. C tier, but probably like on the low end of C. Legion minions, okay, you come in fire and water versions, can toggle between 2 modes, pure damage mode and status mode that deals half damage to attempt to inflict burn. Okay, no idea why this is ultra rare. Specific element boosters. Now, this is really for whales, and even if you're a whale, I don't think it's that great of an idea unless you want to carry 8 specific element boosters around your inventory. Some people don't get full elemental coverage, which is also fine. But I feel like if you want to get this, then you either go for all of it or you go for none of it. There's no point really going only for 1 or 2, but these are my personal opinions. So this does give you a better or a bigger boost as compared to the generic status boosters like your Polala, Dunamis, and Tunda. But at the same time, this is only for one specific element. So yeah, you're going to have to carry a bunch of them to have full elemental coverage. It's not bad, it's definitely good, but it's not as versatile as the generic booster. So this gets A, very high A though. Next, your Rainbow, whatever, Rainbow's End, Rainbow's Edge, what is this called? Rainbow's Edge, okay. Light spell deals magic damage, mighty deals either melee or range, depending on weapon damage type. Consumes all active blinds to increase damage by up to 200% based on the total strength and duration of all blinds. Okay, I think this is actually a really crappy spell. Okay, you can combo this with something like your Alchemical Unity. Maybe you get extra damage out of that, but I don't know. On its own, it's just not very good. D tier. Next, Siphon. Okay, Siphon. You need boosting to make this good. You can basically cost MP to heal HP and deal harm damage. You can have it be free to heal your MP when you deal harm damage, or you can have it cost more SP to deal harm damage and heal your MP equal to the damage dealt. So this item needs boosting for it to be good. On its own, it's kind of garbage, but with enough boosting, this can actually become very, very good. So I'm going to rate this as an A tier item. This is, oh my god, what is this? This is a gas, right? This is your Snurdle? Yeah, Snurdle gas. Okay, it's a fire/darkness gas. Deals half damage and attempts to inflict an effect based on current element. With its fire element, inflict a power 3 fire burn for hits equal to number of turns. Okay, or darkness, you attempt to inflict fear. Yeah, this is not good for an ultra rare. Definitely a skip. Next we have your, what is this? These are pets, right? This is this last? No, it's not last. It's Envy, is it? No, not Envy also. Let me see what's the name of this. I can't remember. I can't remember what's the name of this. Okay, wait, no, this is a spell. Sorry, this is still under spells. Silly me. Manifest Pride. Darkness spell. Uses charisma instead of intellect for stats, so only Beastmasters will use this. Deals minus 75% damage to apply a 40% darkness ally and power for 2 turns before damage is calculated, and attempts to inflict a power 1.79 darkness burn for number of turns based off your hits landed. Okay, this one I don't think is that fantastic either. It could be useful. Will it be useful? Let me think about it. You get your burn, you get ally and power, and this is for Beastmasters. Just very weird for ally and power, because ally and power only affects you, doesn't affect your pet and guest, so I'm going to give it D tier. Yeah, just not great. Manifest Envy. Okay, this is basically almost the same. Minus 75% damage, but using your main stat rather than your charisma stat, and I think it uses either intellect, okay, or I don't know if there's a SP version for this. Yeah, I think they should use intellect. Apply 40% of ally and power for 2 turns before damage is calculated, so the first effect is the same. Second effect is different. It inflicts a minus 10 MRM death loss with no save and applies a plus 12 MRM death boost to you for 2 turns as well. So I think this is slightly better. You get to dodge more, though it's not a whole lot more, but better than nothing, and you also hit the monster a bit more. Also, this isn't locked to charisma, so it makes more sense. I think this gets a C. It's not the best, but it's not the worst either. Next, we have Creature 72. Okay, very, very powerful. Okay, you can toggle it to inflict panic or choke, but obviously you want it to be full panic mode, and you couple this with your Fey Wanderer, and you have one of the best SP and MP heals inside of the entire game, hands down. So this one, because you need to combo it with another item, I'm not going to give it S, but I will give it A tier. Very good item. Queen Ajaya. Toggle between Light Ally Vow and giving yourself a barrier. I didn't think highly of this guess initially, but both effects are actually really good. So I think this Queen Ajaya gets an A tier as well. Next up we have your Kitsune. Okay, Kitsune. Is this guess or pet? I don't know. I think this is a pet, right? Kitsune is not very good either. Let me just check. What does Kitsune do? Okay, Fire Pet toggles between 2 modes. First up, defensive mode. Okay. Oh, multiplicatively reduces ice damage taken by 28.57%. Skills with endurance and charisma. Without charisma, the damage reduction is 14.29%. Stat scaling can overcap, and damage mode deals full damage if monster is bleeding. 6 between fire, light, and harm. Deals 0.9 times damage if dealing harm damage. Huh. Actually interesting. This could be useful, I think. The damage reduction mode, if you're fighting an ice monster, is really nice. I think this gets this probably gets a B tier. You get element seeking as well. Yeah. Mosquito. You can toggle between 3 modes: HP healing, MP healing, or SP healing, and it's based off the damage dealt. One of the best healing pets in the entire game, and it works on its own. But of course, if you have stuff like optical, this just goes nuts. So another S tier item. Alright, next up we have your what is this? What is this? Invincible Heart. Yeah, Invincible Heart. Oh, this one, you can click on it and then you can choose either MP cost or SP cost. It does have a cooldown, and you can choose to gain an ally shield. This is quick cast, by the way. So yeah, this is absolutely amazing. You can have up to a 99% ally shield for 1 turn. So it doesn't matter what your enemy nukes with, you can go ahead and use this. And this is basically a clone of an old Frostvale gift box that a lot of people like and thinks is very powerful. That's why they decided to remake it and re-release it inside of golden gift boxes. Okay, this gets an S tier for me as well. Definitely a top tier pickup. Next up, one of the more recent spells. Okay, this one is the spear thingy. I forgot. This one gets extra lucky strike rate, I think, if I'm not wrong, when you cast it. If you have luck, this can out damage your teleport booth, but normally it won't. So both are premium items, but I don't think this is bad on its own, so I think this gets a C. Yeah, it's not the best, but it's also not the worst either. Next up, we have Soluna. Okay, Soluna is, I think it heals MP and damage, right? Yeah, light and darkness pet. You can seek between the 2 elements. Defaulting to light, both are equal. Full damage mode and a MP heal mode. It's not really that crazy, so I would say for today's meta is a D tier. Especially when you have Mosquito in the same tier, why would you ever pick this up, right? Pygmy Zombie Groupies, very, very old guess. Pet, sorry. It compresses a miscellaneous item which reduces light damage taken and provides a damage multiplier for the Pygmy Zombie Groupies, which is 1.6 time multiplier if you use it with the miscellaneous item. They tried to do something new with this, but it didn't really work out, kind of bad, D tier. And then we have your Diamond Flutterbee, I think this is what it's called, right? Ice Pet can toggle between full damage mode and a mode that attempts to freeze. Okay, you already have a free freeze pet inside of the Frost Gale quest, so this one definitely not worth an ultra rare gift box, D tier. Tiny Void Pony, harm pet, deals 0.9 times damage, and you have a 5% chance to deal extra 100% damage. So this one, situational, I will give it B. Next, you have 3 Troll, 2 modes. One is a damage mode and a HP heal mode. HP heal mode does not attack and it deals 0.765 times damage. No reason to use this. Chicken Cow Clone is a fire pet. Flavor effect, you deal minus 15% damage and makes the player take plus 4.29% damage in exchange for following the player's equipped weapon element. Okay, so yeah, it's just something that compresses all the elements. Not really good, D tier. Zorbo, energy pet, deals 0.75 times damage. Has a chance to paralyze for 1 turn. If already paralyzed, you do extra damage. Not very good. And then you have your bots. Okay, comes in fire, water, fire and water variants. Okay, so normal mode, you deal regular damage. Overdrive mode deals extra 20% damage and causes 31 SP per turn. Or Hyper Overdrive mode, which deals extra 50% damage and causes 78 SP per turn. So one of the best for in terms of damage, for sure. Not top, but you know, definitely up there. So this gets an A tier for me. Next up, your Full Dog. Grants plus 20 potency for freeze type statuses, freeze, petrify, hyper, salinate, whatnot. Can toggle between 2 modes: damage mode, which is 2 hits plus 5 BTH lean, or status mode, which is 1 hit plus 10 BTH lean. Deals minus 81.85% damage, has a 40% chance to petrify for 1 turn. Okay, this does synergize with itself, but you know, it's not, stun effects aren't that fantastic nowadays. Nonetheless, I think this still deserves a B. Alright. And then your Juvenile Void Dragon deals minus 10% damage. This does fake void. Okay, so it's not really void, it's more like harm. Mastercraft, we get extra 5% damage, and yeah, this one, that's basically it. It loses out to Shadow Pony because it doesn't have the small chance to do double damage, unfortunately, so it has to be a lower tier than Shadow Pony. Okay, so Shadow Pony is B. Okay, fine. Get Shadow Pony over this. Okay, I think they're both B because they both do harm, but Shadow Pony is better. Next, you have your last pet. Okay, last, there is a heal deep, last and envy. Okay, basically they do the same thing. One is earth, one is fire. There's a heal debuff mode that cuts your foe's healing by half. This is nice for monsters that heal a lot, but I don't think there's many monsters that actually heal, so that mode is not really that good. Okay, most people use it for the second mode, which is the Lucky Strike mode. Instead of dealing damage, you boost the Lucky Strike chance of either fire for last or earth for envy by 40%. Scales with charisma and luck. Without charisma, the boost value is plus 30%, and stat scaling can overcap as well. So I think this is really good for people wanting to maximize their damage. And I think this, for me, this gets an A. Would this be S? What do you guys think? Do you guys think this is an S? This is deserving of an S tier? Lucky Strike boost. I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. Very, very good. Okay, Infernal Djinn. Fire Darkness pack seeks between two elements. Has its own internal MP system. So, upon first logging in and equipping the pet, it gains 10 MP, can hold up, and it can hold up to 10 MP at once. Regenerates 1 MP every round, and it carries over between battles. The MP attack consumes 5 MP, deals double damage, and no MP attack deals 0.75 times damage. Very bad. One of the first few gift boxes ever released. Silas, Fire and Darkness pack seeks between the two elements, deals half damage. It can do inflict different statuses depending on mode. Ellie round, okay, you can inflict 33.6% fire or darkness Ellie round for 1 turn. Plus 0 save bonus, very good. Okay, one of the best reasons why you want to use this pet. And the second mode is control, which is not very useful, but the Ellie round, however, is very, very strong if you pair it with other stuff. So for that reason, I am going to give this Silas pet an A tier, okay, because you can also switch between, you can also at least seek between two elements, okay. Next up, Azrael's Reaper. Darkness pet deals 0.803 times damage. After successfully attacking, passively attempts to lower the BTH of all enemy hits by 12 for the turn. This is similar to your Sin of Revolt tiers, but this causes an ultra rare. I do not know why this is an ultra rare. When you have items in the rare category that do the same thing, and you have free items that do almost the same thing. So for this reason alone, I think what was that? Sin of Revoltiers get again C tier. Yeah, this is D tier because spending an ultra rare for this is not worth. We can spend a rare. Paladin Chili has 2 modes: damage mode, full damage; status mode, deals minus 30% damage, has a chance to paralyze. And you also gain a trigger versus undead. In the damage mode, you do extra 10% damage, and the status mode, the infliction rate is increased to 31.68%. Still very bad, D tier. Last but not least, we have the miscellaneous items. Warlick's Oblivion Sphere. This works like the Mindlock Orb from very, very long ago, and it's basically how they reintroduced that mechanic into the game. On top of that, it gives you 50 intellect, 50 luck, and 9 blocking. Okay, so even if you don't use it for the Mindlock effect, you can use it for a boost if you're a mage. So I think this, for me, this gets a B tier. The Mindlock effect is not really useful nowadays because of how little monsters we have that use MP. But for pure mage nuking, this is still decent. I think B tier. Radiant Prism increases your damage by 18% and BTH by 8. Comes with a built-in standard light spell. Yup, no good. D tier. Prime Chaos Orb, one of the best items in the whole game, hands down. I even made a dedicated shot just for this item. So what you can do is you can scramble the monster's standard elemental resistances. That's what it's mostly used for. Or you can click or you can also, wait, no, not all. And you can also increase the monster's damage lean by 1 as well as your damage lean by 1, or 0.1 actually, each time you click on it. And the cost for this is basically locking up one of your item slots for that turn. Okay, the element scramble is by far the most useful thing on this miscellaneous item. It's quick cast, doesn't cost a turn. Okay, it does lock out your items, but you know, just equip whatever you want to equip before you use this last. And The damage thing just helps you to deal more damage. It also helps the monster deal more damage, but you know, who cares if the monster is already dead. This is one of the best, or I say the most highly recommended pickup of all the items that we went through today, because it doesn't matter what build you are, this is going to be a great item. Okay, Necromancer Deadly Emperor's Door recently got a change, has a quick cast skill that causes 392 SP that attempts to inflict a 2-turn fire spiritual seed. You can stack this a lot if you have ways to gain a lot of SP, but this is not a guaranteed infliction, which really hurts it in my opinion. And yeah, you have to wait 2 turns in order to get it. And then the second one is a fire spell type skill that follows weapon damage type, deals 0.8 times damage in exchange for auto hit. Deals minus 40% damage and inflicts a power 2 fire burn. No save. I think it's a lot better than what it originally was, but it's still not that great. I think this deserves a C tier. High C. Might even be low B, I don't really know. Summoning Stone. Okay, you can toggle between the following effects. One, your guest deals extra damage. Okay, extra 26.7% damage at max level. And the second mode, you deal harm damage based out each hit that you dodge or block. So a dodge slash mode and a guess damage mode. You also get extra 40 charisma and luck and 8 blocking. Okay, so this is fantastic if you're playing dodge slashing or if you're a beast master. Okay, I wouldn't say it's S tier, but this is definitely A tier for sure. Very, very good. And then last but not least, we have Quad Mod. Okay, it's a light miscellaneous item. Reduce light damage taken, boosts luck by 50, and increases your damage dealt by 20%. It also compresses 4 toggles. Each toggle pays SP cost per turn to set your strength, dex, intellect, or charisma or charisma to 250. SP cost is 236 for each stack. So it's possible to toggle on all 4 of it, but it will be super expensive and you can probably only upkeep it for like 1 turn. Okay, so this is good and basically allows you to play any build that you want without resetting your stats. But is it useful in a practical combat situation? I'm going to say no because of how expensive it is. I will give this a C tier. Very niche use cases. And that is it, guys. The entire list for Golden Gift Boxes 2023. And my god, I think this is going to be an almost 2-hour long video. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and of course subscribe to this channel if you guys would like to see more of such future content. Let me know down in the comments below whether you guys agree or disagree with all my tier listings and why or why not. And if I missed out anything because it's a seasonal item or whatnot, you guys can feel free to ask me in the comment section below or in my Discord server as well. I'll be sure to answer you. Till the next time, I'm your host Korriban Gaming. Peace out.